Hello and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. Yeah, this will be an update for the Exodus. I've done some work on deck 7 and deck 6 and 7 actually, and they're actually in the ship for the most part. They're completed. There are some areas that I haven't done, like the RCS thrusters. They still haven't been designed yet. I'll get to that eventually. But for the most part, I have done a pretty good job on getting them done. So I think decks 1 through 7 are, in a state where I'd be happy to move on to deck 8. I'm not much of an interior, lay the interior out sort of a guy, fill in the rooms, because if you do that and you worry about every single room on a ship, you will burn out really fast. I mean, you'll just decouple from the project, faster than than a lifeboat from the Titanic. You just want to get off of it and get away from it as fast as possible. So yeah, I don't fill in all the little rooms like the crew quarters and a lot of the science labs and little system areas and things like that. I try to fill in the system areas, but none of the other stuff. Unless I'm bored or I kind of have an idea, then I'll kind of work on those. But yeah, overall, no. So you'll see a lot of empty rooms, crew quarters and system rooms. Most of the system rooms on these decks are filled in. But science labs and things like that, nah, I didn't do them. But anyways, as you come through the main airlock here, and it has a double piston door extender, and show you real quick how that's laid in here. Basically, it's just redstone using I think this is a T flip-flop, a variant of a T flip-flop. Not that hard, and just a real basic double piston door thing. There are a lot of videos out there. This was the easiest one. It's the design I've used for years. It's a good solid design. I forget who designed it, but it's lost in the YouTube ether. Just browse YouTube. I'm sure you'll eventually find the person who designed it. Kudos to them. Brilliant design. Anyways, as you come through the airlock, you can either go into the ship proper, or you can come through the medical decontamination area here, strip, shower, get sprayed, take a poop, come in here, kick back, relax, get cleared by medical, come out into the, I think this is the A ring. This is the most outer ring of the deck, and this is, I believe, deck 6. Yes, this is the deck 6. Anyway, so you have these crew quarters in here, and some of them are larger than others. And, granted, they don't look like conventional Starship Enterprise crew quarters because they have a large crew area, living area, and then a separate bedroom and bath. But the walls can be removed, and anything can be set up for these rooms. I just lay the room out as well as I can. I try to keep the rooms uniform and similar in size, but as you design a round ship and fill it with square rooms or rounded rooms, eventually you run into issues where sizing becomes problematic. So some rooms are larger than others, and one only need to go look at the Enterprise at D to know that you get some pretty big rooms and some pretty small ones. But then again, with the Galaxy, the Enterprise D, it's a Galaxy Explorer ship, and its mission status was 20 years with family, so they needed the extra space. But this is a new class of ship. I would say it's an Enterprise class, and the Enterprise was formerly the Constitution class. And then when they made the Enterprise A, they made it with a larger hull and renamed the class from the Constitution class to the Enterprise class. So this is a alternate reality Enterprise A class ship. So the crew quarters are slightly larger, and I think that's basically, you can describe that away as larger crew quarters are for more than one crew member, or, based on rank, privilege, whatnot. So the enlisted crew as opposed to, yo, you don't have a choice, you're joining, those kind of guys. But yeah, it's something I never understood with Starfleet. I thought everybody had to volunteer for Starfleet. You have your enlisted and then you have your officers. Never understood that. So do they draft them? Or do they go, I want to join Starfleet? Well, not everybody gets to go to the academy, is what I guess what it boils down to. So, yeah, just like regular Navy. Anyways, I have these large rooms along the outer perimeter of the deck, and depending on which plans you look at, these can be crew areas, these could be labs, which is what I made them, or they can be open sections for crew. They can also be crew quarters, depending on the plans. And we have a little service closet there, but I made them into offices and science labs. Speaking of the devil, here's an office. complete with space bathroom because, only the best for this crew. And we have a corridor goes through there, like down that way. And you can see intermittently as it flakes out and stuff. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at the map. This is a good size comparison right here, folks. This is deck 1 of the Exodus. This is deck 1 of the old Enterprise. Definitely much, much larger in scale. And I've gone ahead and laid out a lot of the decks that I'm working on here. So we have deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4, and then we have deck 5, and then of course deck 6, which is all roofed in. Now this is just the floor. This is an actual, this is an actual deck that I'm working on, deck 6 and deck 7. So deck 6 and deck 7 actually have roofs. And if you come down through here, this here, this here, this here, and this here are water tanks. These are all energizers to process the power of the ship in, I guess, large batteries. And then the ship has multiple banks of batteries. They're hydrogen batteries, or yeah, I guess you would call them hydrogen batteries because they're more efficient than lithium batteries, and you can separate hydrogen out of the water fairly easy. There's technology today that can do it. Ironically enough, the technology that can do it uses a membrane, and it was declared a protected technology by the U.S. government for almost a decade. So the company that was developing it actually got put on hold for almost a decade, and now they're free to try and do something with their patent. And the battery technology is very promising. And the nice thing about it is it stores the hydrogen as a solid. It separates out water, so all you have to do is add water, and it just automatically it breaks it down, and using a real thin sheet of film, as opposed to doing it the old-fashioned way, which is very energy intensive. But then you end up with liquid hydrogen. You got to compress it, and that's very dangerous to store. But the solid hydrogen, that's not dangerous at all. And the storage items for it look like old hard drives from like the 80s, those big huge brick like hard drives. So it's kind of neat. There's a couple of YouTube videos out there about that technology. You should check them out. Some really interesting stuff. So you see things like that and you're like, oh man, we could have used that 10 years ago. Well, we had it 10 years ago, but they sat on it because my government. Anyways, we got ourselves a turbo lift. Another air corridor with a little office area right here and a bunch of little survival lockers and whatnot through here. And then most of these inner rings are all crew quarters. Yeah, this deck is mostly crew quarters. And again, the size of the crew quarters varies depending on which ring or corridor you access it from. Some of them are nice and large. Some of them are kind of small. Just the way it, that's just the churn of it, It's just how I guess the saying would be: the mop flops, Never liked that saying, but it fits sometimes. Yeah, I come through here. It looks pretty good. Again, not happy with the block palette, but what can you do? You use what you got. And building around spaceships with square blocks, sometimes it's just a bit hard to do. Let's go ahead and circle back up here towards the front of the ship, and I'll show you. Again, on this outer ring, it's mostly labs, and then we have a couple of good-sized crew areas, like here's one, and of course featuring food dispensers. And if we keep coming this way here, we'll end up with a couple of conference rooms. Here's one. Here's a much larger conference room. Now this conference room is larger on the starboard side than it is on the port, because the port side has an airlock up here. And then we have the glory room. Don't really know what else to call this, but yeah, the trophy room. We're boldly going where no one has gone before. Anyways, got an airlock right here, so yeah, if you have to, you can service the ship. That's an umbilical. That's my line. I'm sticking to it. That's an umbilical connection. And then, of course, over on the side, we got a little bit shorter of a conference room right here, more like a, nice size office. So if we come through here and we fly along this towards the starboard side here, because flying is much faster than walking, my opinion. Okay, I thought I saw a mistake. You never can build these ships without finding at least one big mistake. Every time you record, I don't care who you are, you're going to run into those. It's perfect, and then, of course, you find a mistake. Okay, so more offices through here. Another inward-facing corridor. And I have stairwell goes down to deck 7. Another airlock right here, and there's another one on the port side, just aft of the airlock, or yeah, the main airlock. So you have a little access chute here, another umbilical connection. So yeah. Anyways, no decontamination area on this side. And then I have this room right here. Again, I'm not really sure what to do with it. Now, I went with a double wide corridor here, even though on deck 7 it's only single wide. I went double wide on this deck because this is the main deck, and why not? You know, it seemed the right thing to do. And again, yeah, too much of a hassle to worry about not doing it that way. So we have another large crew area right here. Again, based on the plans, you know, this whole outer ring could be crew stuff, but yeah. I got more space to work with, so I went ahead and made them their own independent rooms, little service area there. Another large room right here can be a science lab, or it can be another crew area. Heck, I could even make more crew quarters if I really wanted to go that route. And there's another one of the turbo lifts. Now let's go ahead and step into here. This is the crew lounge. I'm really happy with how this came out. And I know others have probably done a better job with it, but this, I'm pretty happy with how I did this. I mean, it was for me, it was fun to do because it was my first time actually really trying to make this room look good, and I think I pulled it off pretty well. I mean, I didn't use all the whites and grays that you see in the motion picture. I went more warm wood tones and things and like that, just because why not? Looks better. I mean, we even have a bowling alley. Check this out. Got a bowling alley. Hey, got a bowling alley. Anyways, when we come over here, we have right here we have a nice little lounge area, well, conference area. We come out on this side here. I think this is probably going to be like a hydroponics bay. Yeah, like that. Now, if we come, let's go ahead. I'll show you what I did. I made a change from the design. Let's go ahead. I think I can get to it from over here. No, I gotta go down. I go down, and we'll drop down one deck down here, deck 7. And we'll just take this turbo lift around. Now I extended this turbo lift. Here's the impulse engine bay. Designing the impulse engines was a lot of fun. These are high efficiency, smaller impulse engines, but very powerful. That's my line. I'm sticking to it. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish where we're going here. Take this turbo lift. This takes you down to the secondary hall. We're not going down there. We're going back this way here. Now, originally this turbo lift ended right here, and you would go up and into the lounge area there, but I extended it down and around here because I got rid of the swimming pool. I moved it to the aft section of the secondary hall, kind of where it is in the original TOS plans from the 70s. And I made this into a large court area so they could play a racquetball, basketball, whatever, volleyball, you know. And I like it. I like this a lot better. This is just a better use of the space. When I fell asleep, I didn't wake up thinking, I hate this area. And I woke up thinking, I like this area a lot more. So that's what matters, you know. It feels more like a crew rec area now, and I like that. I like it when it's more like a crew rec area. And you know, down here you got green areas and set up whatever you want, weightlifting, sunrooms. I don't know what those rooms will be, but yeah, they're there. Anyways, so we have a battery room here, and again, these are high wattage batteries. I mean, one of these batteries could run New York City for a week. That's how much power these things have. So they have a lot of power. And then again, another lab or hydroponics bay area. Then we have a little EVA room here, and then this is a landing gear in case the ship has to separate and the saucer can land. I have not put the landing gear in here yet, but this would also be the egress and for the ship. If the crew had to leave the ship, they would onto the planet's surface. This is how they would get off the ship. And there are 4 of these access points, by the way. So, yeah. And then we have the RCS thruster room. Now, this is a work in progress. Eventually, I will get it done. This will be one of my big projects that I'll be working with when I'm working on the nacelles and whatnot. You know, I'm still working on it. Got my mind wrapped around it. And once I do, I'll get her done. Walk along here. We'll eventually, more batteries. This is the outer ring, so mostly crew quarters along here. These are all crew quarters along through here. And eventually we'll come up to the stairwell that can lead back to deck 6. There it is right there. This leads back up to deck 6. And then we have This is on the outer ring, mind you. So this is a double wide here, and if we get up here, let's go ahead and do that. These are escape pods through here, much like what I have on deck 5. So these are escape pods through this area here, and then if we just go ahead and take the this little area behind the escape pods, because room, come up through here. I filled these with large energizers. That's what I'm calling these things, just because, you know, they can be multi-function systems. But yeah, and then step down through here. Oops, damn it! I thought I fixed all this. Yeah, this is very annoying when you have to come back through here and fix everything 2 or 3 times. Damn it! Stop messing with me. I'm not liking it. Yeah, no, I did fix this. Wii is weird. Sometimes Wii works just fine. Other times you end up with stuff like this where you know you fixed it, but when you copy it into the ship or move it around, things get undone. Just really quirky things. Like you have an entire deck, it's all made, and you walk around it, it looks great. You copy it and you move it, and something like this has been undone. It's just the damnedest thing. Anyways, we'll go down through here. And I liked when I did this because this reminds me of the original Enterprise where they'd walk in and climb the ladders and whatnot. So that's why I did it. As you can see here, this is single wide, and back there was double wide. That just means one of the rooms is one side of the ship's a little bit more narrower than the aft might be a little bit longer than the forward section. The forward section might be a little bit longer. These are water processing and waste management, water processing, whatever you want to call it, because they connect to the water tanks. The ship systems right here. Turbo lift, batteries. What the heck? See what I mean? I went through and I cleaned all these out of here, and they're back again. This is really, wow. Sometimes, ghosts in the machines. It's just the way it is. This is really weird. Now I cleaned all these out of here. You go down and look at the action. I did not paste A. I pasted this. So these should not be here. They should have all been removed. Anyways, I'll deal with it later. I'll go back through and proof everything later. But another machine area here, and then we get over to. It must be towards the forward part of the ship, because this is a stairwell leading to the forward part of the ship. So here's an auxiliary security area, right here, or an exotic holding area, depending on if they don't want people being locked up in heavy security, just put them in here for light security. Then we have Jeffrey's tube again that kind of leads to the large cargo bay. Then we have main security right here. This is the armory. Then this is the brig. This is the high security brig. Yeah, if you're in here, you've been a bad space person. Anyways, come through here. You got a little space bathroom and a little place for security, on-duty security personnel to crap out. And then, of course, check in. We got a little conference table here, an office, space pooper, lecture hall, classroom, whatever you want to call it. And then right here you have the phaser range. Okay. And oops, went too far. Then we're on the inner ring. This is one part of sickbay complex, and I extended the sickbay complex, so it's quite large on this ship. Anyways, you come through here, and this goes back around. So as you can see, this is kind of a nice size complex. Each room's slightly different than the port side, slightly different than the starboard side, just because, the way things got designed. Anyways, you have an OR here, and then you have pre-op, post-op through here, post-op, pre-op, whatever you want to call these rooms, and then another little operating room right there. If we come this way here, you'll see the transporter rooms. Transporter rooms. Got a little holding cell right. It looks like the chair disappeared. Anyways, yeah, some things get disappeared. It's just the way it is. Anyways, we walk forward here. We've got a couple of rooms that are not filled in again. This is like, I guess you would call one, you assign this room to like the dentistry, and the other one to, maternity or whatever, because there's another room right on the other side of that wall on one of the outer rings. Then we have actual main sickbay here. And again, this is not the Enterprise, this is the Exodus, so I'll have this little area off the side here because I can. You have a little treatment room right here. This is he's dead, Jim. Again, not the Enterprise. And of course, you have your Jeffries tube access points back here. Right here is an actual turbo lift. It's just the Jeffrey tubes wrap around the turbo lift. Come through here. We have autopsy, morgue, whatever. This is the day use area. And we're back out into the corridor here. And let's go ahead and go through here and through here. And we'll see more batteries. Yay, this deck has a lot of batteries because medical. Anyways, I have a large medical area here, or lab area here for medical. And of course, the stairwell that goes up to the next deck, and the one that goes down into the drive hall or into the neck. This is a secured medical facility right here, so you be a bad space person and you get hurt, this is where you'll get well before they stick you in a space brig. Yeah. So let's go ahead and walk this way. Now you cannot get down, if you go this way, the only way to get to the next deck is through the Jeffries tube. So to get to the next deck, we got to go this way here, and then either use the internal stairwell to go down to deck 8, and or you go out this way, and you can use the stairwell to go up to deck 6. So yep. Anyways, that's actually, let's go ahead and go do this real quick here. I'll show you the cargo bay as I'm working on it here. As you can see, these are maintenance ship's maintenance stuff, and then I have a large O2 banks here, and they are accessible. Redstone buttons did not copy over. I wonder why. That is so weird. Come on, let me out. Weird. Anyways, interesting. Why is that ladder there? That is really interesting. I'll have to research that. This might actually not need to be here like this. Huh. I'm going to put some like screens and stuff here to say what the flow tank is. Oh, yeah, because this is the forward part of the ship, and the aft section actually goes up to okay, yeah. Again, forward section is slightly different than the aft section, so I have to, that's something I got to fix. Boy, the things you find when you're, exploring your spaceship. It's, yeah, you can still X that. Okay, weird. Anyway, so I've got a couple of things I have to update from building this because, yeah, there are differences. Anyway, so this is the cargo bay area here, and I haven't really figured out. Yeah, I just, this is just in the plans. It's just a big space. I thought about sealing this off here and then having a big door right there, and and then of course you have this platform here and all this other stuff, and then you have cargo, units and things like that that can be stored in here. I don't know if I'm going to do with that. I don't know how full I'm going to make this room. I just, I want to do some of the floor work and, maybe figure out a place for a transporter, probably put a transporter here and then something else over here, just kind of play around with it a little bit. But yeah, it's big open space like this, kind of neat looking. Of course, this goes down in their crew quarters, and then it goes to the side of the ship again. Let's go ahead and I'll have to update this one as well, but I want to go straight back, and I'll show you what I mean by differences between forward and aft. If we just keep flying through here and punching our way through blocks, because we can. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get, let's go out here. There we go. Oh, come on. Damn it. I have to use wood. Yeah, see how this actually is accessible. That's weird. Interesting. I used these older blocks because they're the best fit, and then evidently these blocks got used here. I'll have to update this as well, but yeah, anyways. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch again. This is the Minetrek.net game server. This has been the Exodus update, and yeah, if you watched to the end of this video, I greatly appreciate it. And y'all have a great day, and I will chat with y'all soon. Bye-bye.